But what I know is I'm feeling just fine. My life is like a red carpet, and I'm feeling like the richest millionaire. This is my local mayor, and I'm the biggest star around. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber die trying. You see the thumbnail. The downside of being in the Black Manosphere. See, this space is its own little entity like every other section. Food, fitness, tech, business, finance, whatever, right? But this space in particular has some issues that come with it that I don't necessarily see with other groups, with other markets on social media. Number one, you might be shadow banned, but people can take your message and not be shadow banned and somehow be, in the algorithm across all platforms. That happens. The other thing, and some of y'all don't know this, there are people who don't like the Black Manosphere so much that they basically go behind the scenes and, this person's associated with the Black Manosphere. There are people who hate the space so much they cut off people's opportunities. And they think it's okay because they quote unquote don't like the message, right? Which is hypocritical, because if they consider this space negative and bashing, guess what? They'll go public being negative and bashing, and doing the very thing that they say this space does, but at the same time behind the scenes like, hey, don't let them do it, but let me do it. Another thing, one of the downsides is you're going to get attacked for your content in ways that don't necessarily make sense, because some people are waiting for you to make content because they don't have any content. And what they do is, once you say something that they don't like, or maybe they just don't like you or the space or whatever, their immediate thing is, I can respond, I gotta respond. And people's lack of ability to create their own content creates a villainous aura where, they said this and you're wrong for this reasons, and we hate your guts, and I don't know who we is, but I'm gonna prove to you that you're no good. And it's like, whatever. And people will take things you said out of context or just ignore what you said altogether. And it's weird because it's online. So when you don't listen to somebody who has a video and you're responding to something that you really didn't listen to because, they're in the Black Manosphere, so I know what they were saying, but that's not what they said. See, you become a villain just purely out of people's imagination. Another thing that's a downside, if you actually grow in this space, you're going to have people who are probably not in the Black Manosphere say they're in the Black Manosphere to hate on you. Like, I don't get it, but people show up out of the blue. I've been in this space for years and I've been here. Who are you? Y'all don't know me? No. Nobody knows you. But now you're in the Black Manosphere because this person and hit 50,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, 200,000 subscribers. Now all of a sudden you just showed up, and he ain't really real. Oh, okay. So you don't have that in other segments where the more you grow and the more people just come out of the woodwork to go, oh. Another downside, people won't support what they say that they're looking for in this space. So I need this and I need that, and I need you to talk about this, I need you to talk about that. All these things exist. But when you're in the Black Manosphere, when you say you're looking for something and somebody says, yo, well, Go to such and such. They do that all the time. You don't go. And then you make this argument that there's not enough diverse content, but you won't go to the diverse content because it doesn't, quote unquote, entertain you the way you want to be entertained for the, quote unquote, dusty content, right? There's another downside. And you're going to get blamed for that. Ironically, the other downside is if you're on YouTube, all of the things that the algorithm you're supposed to do for the algorithm might not work for you. Might not work. If they say, hey man, do this, do this, do this, do this, because of the content you make, or because of what your content is perceived to be, and that might not necessarily be what you make, all of the things that fit the algorithm might not work for you. So people are going, no, that's not true. It is. It is. Because when you talk about consistency, content, thumbnails, live streaming, shorts, and a person can do all of those things and don't grow. Maybe it's something you did. You trying to figure out how somebody with 400 videos wind up with 1,000 subscribers, and somebody with 4,000 videos wind up with. What I'm saying is a person with like 400 videos could wind up with 100,000 subscribers, and a person with 4,000 videos could wind up with 12,000. Constantly uploading, and it's like, oh, maybe they're not saying something that people like. The problem is, other people are saying the exact same thing. That's the issue. You might not show up in the feed in the like if there's a trending topic and you talk about a trending topic, and you look at other people talking about that trending topic, if you're in the Black Manosphere, you're not going to be on the first page normally. You might not be on the second page, or the third page, or the fourth. So you won't get the looks that other people get. And those people who look at you are usually bigger than you in channel, and they usually, use your talking points. People have their own mind, they have their own talking points, but I'm saying that it used to be a time in YouTube where you could find out who's watching you, and when you found out who was watching you and they were saying the very same thing you were saying, you realized they were watching you and they were basically profiting off of what you said, and you're giving them material, and they don't have to credit you or whatever. So all of these things go on. So sometimes there's a downside, and it's boom or bust. Some people make a lot of money, some people make a little bit of money. It is what it is. And women can be saying a Black Manosphere message and move further than men in a short amount of time, and that's true. But you got to know the downsides when you get in it. Are you going to stay in it? After that, that's your choice. If you really in it like that. Oh yeah, but because there are people who come in and out at their convenience. Depending on how impactful the space is at the time. When it's a big impact, oh, I'm in it. When they feel like it's falling off, oh, I'm out. I was never in it. It's weird, but that's what it is. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll try and catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna say it to you.